Ilari was not supposed to be in the human lab. The rules were clear: no alien researchers allowed without a human escort. But Ilari was curious. Too curious. She looked around. The lab was empty. The lights were low. Everyone had gone to the briefing room across the hall. She had only a few minutes. Ilari moved quickly, her soft green skin glowing faintly in the dim light. Her long silver hair was tied back as usual, and her large blue eyes scanned the shelves. She wasn't looking for anything dangerous, just answers. Why do humans have so many liquids? She had asked her mentor last week: water, juice, coffee, medicine, stimulants, and some with names she couldn't even pronounce. Her mentor had warned her to stay away from them. Some liquids are made only for humans. Our bodies cannot handle them. But Ilari wanted to know. She had studied humans for months now. She found them strange but fascinating. Their emotions, their scents, even their laughter, it all stirred something inside her, and she saw it. A small vial sat alone on the back table. It was filled with a thick, red gold liquid. A label on the side read, H9 Combat Enhancer, for human use only. Ilari stepped closer. She picked up the vial. It was warm to the touch, even though the room was cold. Just one drop, she whispered. She tilted it slightly. The scent hit her nose, sweet and sharp, like fruit mixed with fire. Her heart beat faster, and then she tasted it. Just one drop on her tongue, it burned. Not like pain, but like heat rushing through her veins. She gasped, dropping the vial back onto the table. It rolled, but didn't break. Her skin shivered. Her hands trembled. What is this feeling? Her body was heating up from the inside. Her heart pounded in her chest like a war drum. Her fingers tingled. Her breathing changed fast, shallow, needy. Then she heard footsteps. She quickly wiped her mouth and stepped away. A group of human soldiers entered, laughing and talking. She slipped out the side door before they noticed her. Back in her quarters, Ilari stared at herself in the mirror. Her cheeks were flushed a strange pink, and her pupils were wide. Her body still felt hot, especially when she remembered the face of one particular human, Lieutenant Marcus Hall. He was tall, with dark hair and sharp eyes, kind but serious. He had once smiled at her during a research exchange, and she hadn't forgotten it. Now, just thinking of him made her heart beat even faster. She pressed her hand to her chest. Why am I reacting this way? The serum, the liquid. It must have done something to her system. It wasn't made for her kind. Maybe her body didn't know how to handle it, but her mind was clear enough to understand one thing. Something had changed, and it was connected to Marcus. The next day, Ilari avoided the humans. She skipped meetings and hid in the medical wing, pretending to be busy with scans, but her body still hummed with heat. Her thoughts still drifted to him, and her skin still ached with strange energy. She was changing. By the evening, she couldn't take it anymore. She walked past the human training center, hoping to catch a glimpse of him, and there he was, training with two others, sweating, focused, powerful. Ilari gripped the wall to steady herself. Her legs were weak. Her breath hitched. She had seen humans many times before, but never like this. Something inside her called out for him. No, she told herself. This isn't real. It's just the serum. But deep down, she wasn't sure. Back in her room, she wrote a secret log entry. Day 1. I tasted the human liquid. My body is reacting strongly. I feel drawn to him. Is it chemical? Is it emotional? Or both? I need answers. But most of all, I need control. She closed the log and lay back on her bed, eyes wide open. She knew one thing for certain. This was only the beginning. Ilari woke up in the middle of the night, sweating. Her Skin was glowing faintly again, and her heart raced as if she had run for miles. She sat up quickly, gasping for air. Then she heard it. A voice, deep and calm, calling her name. Alari. But no one was there, Dot. It wasn't real. Just a dream about him. Lieutenant Marcus. She pressed her hand to her chest. Her body trembled. Her skin was hot again, just like after she drank the serum. Why can't I stop this? She whispered Dot. She stood up, walked to the mirror, and stared at her reflection. Her pupils were wide, almost glowing. Her breathing was shallow. Her hands were shaking. Dot, her body wasn't listening to her anymore. She tried meditating, tried cooling her skin with water. Nothing worked. When she heard footsteps outside her room, her heart jumped out. It was him, Marcus. He was walking by, talking to another soldier. Just hearing his voice made her knees weak. She stayed silent behind the door, pressing her fingers to her lips. Why does he affect me like this? What did that liquid do to me? Later that day, Alari was called to attend a science team meeting. She didn't want to go, but hiding would only raise suspicion. She kept her distance from the humans. But then Marcus entered the room. Hilari's heart raced. Dot, she looked down at her notes. Her skin began to glow again, just slightly, but enough for one of the other alien researchers to notice. Are you unwell? Her colleague asked. I'm fine, Alari replied quickly. But she WSN single quotes T. Marcus sat only 2 seats away. When he spoke during the meeting, Alari's pulse jumped. Her skin tingled. She gripped her chair tightly. Dot, and then it happened. She accidentally brushed against his arm while passing him a data pad. Dot, just a light touch. But her knees buckled. She gasped and stumbled. Grabbing the table for support, Marcus caught her arm. Hey, are you okay? Alari nodded quickly, pulling away. Just tired. But inside, her body was on fire. She ran out of the room before anyone could stop her. Back in the lab, she locked the door and leaned against the wall, shaking. She pulled out her recorder. Day 2. The reaction is stronger. My body responds when he's near. Even a single touch sends waves through me. This is not just chemical. This is dangerous. If the humans find out, they might report me. I need help. But not from them. She turned off the recorder and curled up on the small seat in the corner. Her mind said stay away from him, but her body was begging for the opposite. The next morning, she received a private message from Marcus. Are you sure you're okay? You looked pale, or maybe flushed. She stared at the screen. Her fingers hovered over the reply button. Should she answer? Should she stay away? In the end, she typed only 2 words. I'm fine. But she knew it was a lie. Her body wasn't fine. Her thoughts weren't fine. And the worst part? She wasn't sure she wanted it to stop. Asterisk, she tried to avoid him. But every hallway, every room, every corner of the base seemed to echo with his presence. And today, fate didn't let her run. Alari walked into the main corridor, and there he was. Lieutenant Marcus, standing by the panel, checking mission reports. She froze. She wanted to turn around, hide, escape, but her body betrayed her again. Her pulse quickened. Her cheeks burned. Her legs moved on their own toward him. Marcus looked up and smiled. Alari, I was hoping to see you. Danger, her mind screamed. Run. But instead, she smiled back. They stood side by side, talking casually about the next science assignment. But Alari couldn't hear most of it. All she could focus on was his voice, the deep calm of it, the way his lips moved, the heat rising in her body again. Then he laughed softly at something she said, and that was it. A wave of need hit her like a shock. Her hands trembled again. Her breathing became too fast. She dropped the data pad. Marcus bent to pick it up. Their fingers touched. Elari gasped and stepped back. Her legs gave out. Marcus caught her again. Whoa, hey. Are you hurt? She shook her head quickly. No. I just lost balance. But her body was burning. His touch had lit something inside her, like fire crawling through her skin. Later, in her private lab, Ilari locked the door and slammed her fist on the table. This isn't normal. She shouted. She pulled up her own bioscan logs. Her heart rate was higher every time Marcus was near. Her temperature spiked. Her brain chemistry changed. She compared the data. Every reaction pointed to him. Only him. This wasn't just a crush. This wasn't something silly. This was chemical, biological, maybe even permanent. She fell into the chair, breathing hard. I don't just want him, she whispered. My body needs him. That night, she had another dream. She was in the science wing, but Marcus walked in, shirt soaked in rain, eyes locked onto hers. He didn't speak. He just walked up to her and took her hand. The feeling was too real, too hot, too overwhelming. She woke up gasping. Her pillow was soaked with sweat. Her hands were clenched. Her skin was glowing again. This can't go on. She told herself, I have to stop it. I have to tell him. But the next day, she couldn't speak. Marcus sat next to her in the common room. He looked tired. His eyes scanned her face. You look different lately. Are you sure you're okay? Ilari stared into his eyes, lips parting, ready to confess. But the words wouldn't come. Instead, she just said, I think I need rest. He nodded. If you need anything, just call me. She nodded. But deep down, she knew. She didn't just need rest. She needed him. And that truth scared her more than anything. Asterisk. Lieutenant Marcus stood alone in the lab, frowning. The red gold combat serum H9 was gone. He checked the logs. No one had signed it out. His eyes narrowed. This was locked, he muttered. Someone broke protocol. Then something strange caught his eye. A faint fingerprint. Not human. He scanned it quickly. Alien origin. Female. Civilian class. His heart sank. Ilari. He walked out of the lab and headed straight for the observation deck. Ilari was there, alone, staring out at the stars. Her silver hair flowed gently around her shoulders. She looked peaceful, calm, but Marcus had seen the signs, the glowing skin, the trembling hands, the way she avoided him, and then stared when she thought he wasn't looking. He stepped beside her. We need to talk. She turned, startled. About what? He didn't answer. Instead, he showed her the scan. Your fingerprint was on a restricted vial, one meant only for human soldiers. Her eyes widened. She looked away, silent. Ilari, Marcus said softly. Did you drink it? There was a long pause. Then she whispered, yes. Marcus sighed and leaned against the railing. That formula wasn't ready, he said. It was designed to heighten human response, strength, speed, focus, even attraction. Her eyes snapped toward him. Attraction? He nodded slowly. It was a test serum, one that could bond a soldier's senses to a target. But it was too dangerous, unstable, never approved. Ilari's voice trembled. I only tasted a drop. Just one. Marcus looked at her seriously. Your body isn't human. That one drop could rewrite your whole system. She backed away. So that's why I feel like this? He nodded. It makes your brain fixate, lock onto the first person your senses respond to. Her voice cracked. Then, why is it? You? Marcus stepped closer. I don't know, but I think your body chose me. She covered her face with her hands. I didn't mean for this to happen, she said. I was just curious. I never expected to crave someone. Marcus's voice was calm. I don't blame you. He placed a hand gently on her shoulder. Her skin lit up beneath his touch. Soft pulse of light shimmered across her arm. Marcus stared at it. It's reacting again. She nodded. I can't stop it. I can't stop wanting to be near you. They sat in silence. Then she spoke quietly. Will they send me away? He hesitated. If command finds out, maybe. They'll think you're unstable. They might take you off the mission, or worse, treat you like an experiment. Tears welled up in her eyes. I don't want that. Marcus looked at her, steady and calm. Then we keep it between us, just you and me. Her eyes widened. You'd do that? He smiled slightly. You're not dangerous, Ilari. You're just affected. And maybe we can find a way to fix it. She nodded slowly. But in her heart, she wasn't sure she wanted it fixed. As the stars drifted outside the glass window, one thing became clear. Secret was out, and nothing would be the same again. She collapsed during the mission. No warning. No attack. One moment she was walking beside the patrol team. The next, she dropped to her knees, hands shaking, chest heaving, skin glowing too bright. Marcus rushed to her side. Ilari! She clutched his arm, eyes wide and full of pain. I can't breathe. Her voice was weak. Her body trembled like a leaf in the wind. He scooped her into his arms and carried her to the medbay without another word. Inside, the alien doctors stared in confusion. They scanned her vitals, and what they saw shocked them. Her body heat was rising dangerously. Her pulse was locked on one rhythm. Her nervous system was out of sync with everyone but Marcus. Her system is bonding, one of the doctors whispered. She's sinking to him fully. After they cleared the room, Marcus sat beside her bed. Her skin was still warm, and her eyes blinked slowly. I need you close, she said. Marcus hesitated, but then nodded. I'm here. He took her hand. The moment their skin touched, her body relaxed, her breathing calmed. The glow dimmed. Ilari let out a long breath and whispered, That's the only thing that helps. Marcus didn't move. This wasn't love. This was something else, something deeper, chemical, biological, dangerous. Later, when they were alone, she sat up and looked into his eyes. You don't have to stay with. She said. But if you leave, I think I'll break. Marcus leaned forward. I'm not going anywhere. But I'm not thinking clearly, she said. I can't stop this pull toward you. He nodded. I know. Silence stretched between them. Then she whispered, almost too softly to hear, I don't want anyone else. I only want you. Marcus's chest tightened. He was trained for war, for science, for diplomacy. Not for this, but he couldn't deny it anymore when he looked at her. He felt something too. Not just duty, something more. That night, she rested with her head near his shoulder. They didn't speak, but her hand found his again. And, for the first time, the ache inside her started to fade. She didn't just want him near. She needed him. And now, so did he. She tried to stay away for just one day. One full day, without Marcus. No touch, no voice, no scent. Just space. To see if she could handle it. By the third hour, she was on the floor sweating, shaking, and barely able to speak. Bring him, she begged the med staff. Please, I need him. Marcus arrived minutes later, out of breath. He sat beside her bed and held her hand. Instantly, her body stopped trembling. Her pulse returned to normal. Her skin cooled. Her eyes met his, and she whispered, I can't be away from you, not even for a little while. Marcus looked down at their hands. This bond, it's real. Stronger than we thought. She nodded slowly. It's more. And chemistry now. My mind, my heart. I feel something deeper. He didn't answer right away, because the truth was he felt it. Not just duty, not just a need to protect, but a quiet ache in his chest when she wasn't around. A feeling that had grown every time she smiled at him, or whispered his name. They started spending more time together, but not in secret anymore. They trained side by side, studied together, shared long hours in silence, just sitting close. But the others started noticing. One of Marcus's teammates pulled him aside. "You're always with her," he said. "You sure this is just helping?" Marcus didn't reply, because the truth was he didn't want to let her go. That night, Hilary sat beside him in his quarters. The room was dim, quiet. She turned to him. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were afraid. "If I never touched that vial, would we still be here?" Marcus looked at her gently. "I don't know." She looked down. "Do you think this is real? Or just a mistake?" He reached out and touched her cheek. Warm. Steady. "I don't care how it started," he said. "What matters is what we have now." She smiled, but there was pain behind it. "And promise me," she whispered, "if they try to take me away, you'll fight for me." He didn't hesitate. "I promise." They sat together, hand in hand, too close now to ever go back. Whatever this was, it wasn't just a reaction anymore. It was something they both chose. Asterisk, a message came from her command ship that morning. LRE was to be recalled for medical evaluation and full detox. In other words, they had found out. Someone had reported the bond, the incident, the serum. She had only one night left on the human base. She sat on the edge of her bed, staring at her hands. They weren't shaking anymore. But her chest felt empty. "What if they erase this feeling?" she whispered. "What if I forget him?" She turned her head when the door opened. Marcus stood there silent, tense, eyes darker than usual. "They're taking you tomorrow," he said. She nodded. "They think I'm not safe anymore." He sat beside her. "Do you want to go?" Her voice broke. "No." The silence between them was heavy, filled with things they wanted to say, but couldn't. Finally, Hilary reached for his hand. "I don't want to forget you." "You won't," he said softly. "And I won't forget you either." She smiled weakly. This started because of a mistake, but it ended with something real. He nodded. "You were curious about human liquids," he said with a sad laugh. "Now you crave the one who gave it." She laughed too, quietly, sadly. Then her face turned serious. "I didn't just fall for your biology. I fell for your voice. Your patience, your kindness." Marcus looked into her glowing eyes. "I fell for your mind," he said. "Your courage, your curiosity." The night passed too fast. No kisses. No promises they couldn't keep. Just soft touches. Shared breath. And the ache of two people who found something beautiful. Too late. The next day, she was gone. The ship took her away. Marcus watched it vanish into the sky, a heavy silence in his chest. Weeks passed. The bond faded, but the memory didn't. Then, one morning, a message arrived. Transfer request approved. Hilary, Biotech Liaison, Human-Alien Alliance Research. He blinked. Then smiled. That afternoon, he turned the corner near the science wing. And there she was. Same silver hair. Same glowing skin. Only this time, she didn't run. She walked straight to him, stopped inches away, then whispered, "I didn't come back because of the serum?" He looked into her eyes. "I know." Because curiosity brought her to him, but love brought her back. The end.